Hey guys, how's it going? So, today's video is going to be on So snap starting or thumb starting or basically restarting your yo-yo is getting your yo-yo back up to your hand without having to wind it. Ideally, you'd like to avoid snap starting in competition, but mistakes can always happen and it's always good to be prepared in case you accidentally kill your yo-yo on stage. Also, snap starting serves as a really handy tool if when you're just playing around with other people and instead of having to wind your yo-yo up every single time, you can just snap start your yo-yo, bind it back up, and it'll come back up, saving you time, and it also looks a whole lot cooler. Now, because we're in the unresponsive era, every single snap start I'm going to be teaching you today involves two steps. First one, restarting the yo-yo. Second one, a bind of some sort, okay? So now that I've given you guys a brief intro, let's go through it. So the first snap start I'm going to be teaching you guys today is the actual generic snap start, and it looks like this. Okay? Now that's a method I picked up by watching a lot of Vuho's competition freestyles, and I figured out that it was a really efficient method to get a yo-yo back up to your hand. So yeah, I thought I'd include it. Alright, first step, you need a dead yo-yo, okay? Then what you want to do is you kind of want to practice the snapping motion, okay? You don't really need to know how to click in order to do this, you just kind of need to basically know the general movement, right? Then what you want to do is you want to get your middle finger and pointer finger and hold it outside the yo-yo like so, right? And as you do that, you create a spinning motion and start the yo-yo spinning, like so, right? Now, the more power you do, the faster the yo-yo will spin for, right? So when you're first beginning, it'll be pretty weak. You know, the yo-yo will die in a couple of seconds, but get enough practice and you should be able to almost do a few combos off your snap start, right? So, again, middle finger and thumb around the rim of the yo-yo, right? And then flick in a forward motion as if you were clicking, and you should get your snap start. You want to make sure the snap start has enough power as possible and spins in a relatively straight direction, otherwise it'll die before you get the chance to bind it back up to your hand. Now one thing to keep in mind, when you snap start a yo-yo like this, the yo-yo is spinning forwards, okay? Meaning, binds that are designed for, that would ordinarily work, say that the brain twister bind, or generally just the undermount bind, don't really work as well because the yo-yo is spinning in the wrong direction, right? The way you would bind this is the very beginner bind that most people learn first off, and that's just there, like so, okay? Show you from this angle. There, pinch, like so. Okay, if you don't know how to bind, there are a lot of tutorials on how to do that, but I'm assuming everyone here is watching this already knows how to bind. So, first step, get your fingers, snap, and get your yo-yo spinning. Then, as quickly as possible, bring your string forward, and then bind the yo-yo back up, alright? Now this is really great because when you pull the string up like so and get it into that snap start position, it almost instantly falls onto the string. So it can be done really quickly so you can get back to doing whatever it is you want. The second method I'm going to teach you guys, and this is the method I actually use for competition, is called a thumb start, right? Looks like that. Basically what you want to do is you want to get your yo-yo, and how I do it is I hold the yo-yo like so, so my middle finger is, my hand's around there, and my thumb is just on the point there, right? And I try to keep it away from all the other yo-yo strings, so basically just right in the middle like so, right? So I use the middle finger to stabilize, and as I tug on the two, as I tug down and let the thumb flick downwards toward the yo-yo starts to spin, like so, okay? Now, the difference between the thumb start and the snap start is that the yo-yo is actually spinning in two different directions, okay? So, from this angle, if I start a yo-yo with a thumb start, it's spinning forwards. If I start it with a thumb start, right, it's spinning backwards, right? So this bind doesn't really work as well for the thumb start, so you'd have to use a different bind. The bind I normally use is that one, okay? It gets it back right up to my hand. I've practiced a lot with that bind, but another bind that's a lot simpler to do is just a normal brain twister bind. So, thumb start the yo-yo, right? Put your left hand here, and get into a brain twister mount, pinch the string, and go forward, right? Now, if you want to learn the other bind, basically what you do is you thumb start the yo-yo, right? And this is how I do it all in one motion. I'll thumb start the yo-yo with some force, and as the yo-yo is swinging back, I'll intercept it and land into an undermount bind like so, right? So, snap, land in an undermount bind. From here, what I'll do is I'll swing the yo-yo towards me and then up, and it'll bind, okay? And this is the same principle that works for binds like this, okay? All you do is land in that undermount, swing, up, and it'll bind, okay? So, for the second one, there's also another variation, and I find that yo-yo players also find that this one helps as well. And basically, it works by the same motion as the second one, but you restart it differently. So instead of getting your middle finger and thumb to restart the yo-yo, what they'll do is they'll get their pointer finger and middle finger, like so, right? And they'll put it around the yo-yo. And what they'll do is they'll just get the two fingers and flick downwards, right? Basically, once you get it spinning, it's identical to the thumb start. You can either get it up with the brain twister mount or with the more advanced mount like so. So those are the two methods that I use most frequently. When I'm in a competition and I really want to get my yo-yo back up in time, this is the method I'll use, right? When I'm just playing around casually or in a confined area, I'll use the second one. Mainly because, first of all, it's really discreet, you don't have to flick the yo-yo across the room. And second of all, it allows you to just get everything up in that small little area, right? And I think this one requires a lot less energy, but I find that having to grab the yo-yo, interchange it, position the string wastes too much time for me during competition. So if my yo-yo dies, I just want to be able to snap start as quickly as possible, right? But when I'm playing around in the park, you'll often see me snap start it like that, mainly because it's a lot more comfortable, it's a lot more energy, and it's a lot more space efficient. So, those are my two methods on how to snap start. Any questions, criticisms, comments, post them down below, and I will see you guys next time.